Hi everyone, David Theriault here. This is our last video on the CIA AV strategies for starting a unit, and these all work whether they're distance learning or face-to-face learning. But these are some things, they're like 5 different things that I do to kind of start off a unit or start off a week or something like that. So today we're going to our last one today, and today we're going to talk about video and how I use video in my classroom. So usually what I'm doing when I use video in my classroom is we're doing a short video. So we're talking about a 3-minute video, a 5-minute video, a 10-minute video. And obviously a lot of you use video in the classroom. We all use video in the classroom. But I really like spending some time trying to find a video that's not just informative, but that's artistic, that maybe creates a mood, that becomes memorable in such a way. I usually start off my school year with this video called Scared is Scared. It's all about how the things that we're scared of are scared of the things that we love. And so it's a really great way for me to find out what students are scared of and also what they love, which is great for when they're worried about stuff. I can bring up the things that they love. I use this with my sophomores. So obviously if you're at Fountaindale High School, if you could just use it with your sophomores. And then with my juniors, I start off the school year with this Cat Days, which is all about identity and who gets to select what we identify as and how other people interact with that. And so I was using this video with my juniors and it was pretty cool. So what are some things that we do with video? Well, you could create an artistic response to the video. So you're tying in like kind of to the things we've already talked about. So this is somebody who took, I have the students, when we do the Scared is Scared, they take a piece of paper, they fold it into 6 squares or rectangles, which they're like, wait, we're doing origami in class. What's going on? And then they draw the things they're scared of and the things they love. And then they create a story around it. And then that's something that they end up sharing on like day 2 or day 3 of our class. So we can all get to know about each other, and I'll make one too. And I share it with the students. You could do a 1-pager, or as John Carippo calls these, a thin slide. So you could use paper, which students seem to really like to do, especially for distance learning. Like they kind of get burnt out on all the computer stuff and they love to just do something hands-on. They could take a picture of it. They could upload that picture to Canvas or put it in a Google slide and submit the link to the slide. A 1-pager, you guys all hopefully you folks all know what a 1-pager is. And it's just like kind of a single image, maybe a quote or a word. This is from Catcher in the Rye. And the question the student came up with was, we see, but do we notice? And the quote was, I couldn't stop thinking of those 2 nuns. Okay. Here's another example of a 1-pager, a thin slide. This was done by hand, but you could do this in a Google slide if you wanted to. Obviously, the student is like, I don't know, they really went for it, which is pretty cool. But another thing you could do besides like a 1-pager thin slide is you could have students create a GIF from the video source itself and then put some words over it. So the first time I do this, I have my students just practice using the tool Giphy, and I'm going to below, you're going to see a link to a tutorial video I made on how to use Giphy to make your own custom GIFs, which is pretty cool. And I'll have my students gift their life. So this is when you just came from a test that nobody else took. You feel like a Hollywood star, right? Everybody's like, what was on the test? What was on the test? What was on the test? And you're like, oh, or how was it? Was it hard? And you're like, oh, so I usually have my students do it for fun first so that they don't have the stress of doing the cognitive load of an academic assignment plus learning a new tool. And I think that's a good strategy. But then after that, what you could do is, like, let's say I was in a culinary arts class and I had them watch a video by Jacques Pepin, who's like one of my favorite chefs ever. And he talks about how you should never take your egg and crack it on the corner because that's going to push the shell into the egg. So instead, you always crack it on a flat surface. So look, I made a GIF from his video and I actually put the thing I learned. You can do this in history or science, right? Whatever video you had the students watch, they just grab a clip, put some words over it, boom, you can tell that they were paying attention, that they learned something, and they all kind of get to look at the GIFs. Students could upload these into a Canvas discussion so they could see each other's GIFs, which would be another opportunity for learning. and it would just be kind of a really cool and fun activity. Okay, so, and obviously there's other things you can do with a video as well. You could do writing, you could do all sorts of different stuff, but I just wanted to give you like 2 little examples of what you could do with a video and what I do with video. So here are our 5 things. Remember, we had curiosity, ignorance, art, audio, and video. I also, for those of you who are kind of panicked a little bit or thinking or still going in your head, like, what am I going to do at the beginning of the year? You might want to go onto Twitter. Remember, you don't need a Twitter account to go on Twitter. And if you just search, and you can click on this in the slide and I'll take you right to it. First 5 days. And if you go to hashtag first 5 days, you will see what people are doing. And you could even put like first 5 days history, first 5 days English, first 5 days math, and you can see what people are doing for their first 5 days, which would be really cool. You can also, Joy Kerr has a live binders called First 5 Days. So if you don't like Twitter at all, you could just search up Joy Kerr. And if you click on this link in the slide, which I'll put down below, you can just click on the link and go to her live binders, and you can see she even has first 5 days ideas for those of you who are stuck at home in the pandemic with distance learning, and you can see what other teachers are doing, which is very cool. And then also, if you want for your school or your department, you could make a copy of this. This is in the slide as well. This is a Google survey, and for high school, and you put your first name, last name, school you're at, subject, and then what kind of CIA content this is: curiosity, ignorance, art, audio, video, title of the website or content, the URL website, and how would you use this in class. And then you could share this with all the teachers in your department. And so instead of having to like do all this research on your own, you could do this together as a department, or as a school or as a district, which would be really cool and would help everybody out. And just a quick reminder, if you're trying to look for kind of pedagogy pathways, you can go to, and I'm going to link this down below as well, but this would be like, I have a blog post on this. It's called Feeling a Little Lost in Lesson Planning, Tracing a Pedagogy Pathway. It's on my blog, thereadinessisall.com. So here's an example of like the 5E model, where Monday you would build engagement and curiosity, Tuesday explore, Wednesday explain, Thursday elaborate, Friday evaluate. And so look, here's the engage, and here's a short video, podcast, activity. You could do art or something else like that. So that would be that, the CIAAV, it would be on that Monday right there, right? Here's one on, you could do this one we did on, here's another pedagogy pathway on design thinking. So your Monday activity, the video or the art or the podcast could help the students empathize with a particular problem. Then on Tuesday, they would define the problem. On Wednesday, they'd brainstorm and come up with ideas for solving the problem. On Thursday, they would prototype the problem. And on Friday, they would test it out and see if it worked, and then get feedback on that. So if you're kind of just wondering like, okay, I've got the intro, now what do I go to next? If you go to this blog post, you can see I've got a whole bunch of different examples of ways you can kind of go into, through, and beyond for a unit or for a week, for an activity, for pretty much any single subject. All right. Thank you very much. Hope you have a great time. Good luck this year. I believe in you and I care about you. And if you need any help, you know where to find me by email or on Twitter, or text me if you have my phone. Talk to you later. Bye.